Local officials debate both sides of Proposal 1.
The Orion Art Center shows off outstanding student artwork.
Judges teamed up with law enforcement to convey the dangers of underage drinking and drug use.
And a local filmmaker's movie is receiving rave reviews in Hollywood.
Hello, I'm Ciaramitaro.
And I'm Jonathan Jackson.
We'll have those stories plus much more coming up right here on ONTV News. On Tuesday, April 7th, Oakland County held a Proposal 1 debate at the King's Court Castle at Canterbury Village, allowing both legislature and residents to discuss the option to raise state taxes this May. During the debate, State Representative Brad Jacobson and Oakland County Road Commissioner Eric Wilson tried to persuade residents to vote yes on Proposal 1. Jacobson says out of the $53 billion budget, the state is given control of nearly $10 billion from the general fund money, and in order to budget $1.2 billion more for roads, they would have to cut from other state programs.
It's really easy to say, well, you got a $53 billion budget. You can come up with 1.2. But so what are we going to do? We're going to cut schools more? Are we going to... Are we going to take, that's all, that's all well and good, and it sounds good here. We get people constantly complaining about school fundings, that they're not getting enough. We've got corrections. We let people out of prison early. Yes. And we're going to let people starve, and we're going to cut back on the state police. I don't think so.
On the opposing end, former Representative Tom McMillan and political activist Norm Hughes believe it's up to Lansing to reevaluate their budget instead of placing the burden on taxpayers.
What they want to do is force families to reprioritize our spending. They don't want to do the heavy work, the tough work of reprioritizing Lansing spending. What they want to do is force families to have less money, and so that they have to reprioritize.
Political activist Norm Hughes believes Proposal 1 is a ripoff, saying only 7% of the 1% increase will go towards repairing roads during the first year.
If it's really about safety, can we take any out of the $53 billion budget? As a matter of fact, they have. This year they've increased road funding $661 million, but not a bit of it's going to fix roads. It's going to mass transit. It's going to overhead, it's going to paying off debt. Not a penny of it's going to fixing and improving the roads. Really, when it gets right down to it, merely 21% at its maturity of the $2.2 billion will be taxing will go into MDOT roads. 21%. And this first year, next please, only $160 million or 7%. Don't tell me we got a crisis that's coming through your windshield and spend only 7% of the tax on fixing the roads. Yeah. Next year it goes up to 14%. It's deception, it's a lie, and I'm offended by it. Yeah. I'm offended that our party and its leadership is trying to sell us garbage, really.
Proposal 1 will be on the voting ballot this May. If passed, it will increase the state sales tax from 6% to 7%. The tax hike would cost drivers on average $545 more a year, or $45 more each month. Proposal 1 would eliminate sales tax on fuel. However, it will trigger a new wholesale gas tax, which would raise with inflation. It will also raise the annual vehicle registration tax. Many residents say it's a hike they are not willing to pay, even for the betterment of our roads. To view the entire debate, visit Orion, ONTV.org.
The Lake Orion Marching Percussionists and the Concert Percussion Group both brought home state championship titles on Sunday, March 29th, at the 2015 Michigan Color Guard Circuit Finals competition held at Saginaw Valley State University. This is the second time both teams have received first place at this competition. The marching band's ensemble shows, titled The Shield, was led by director Paul Lewes. The percussion members dressed as Spartans, which was loosely based off the movie 300. Luz also directed the concert group in their show Musical Travels. And on Saturday, April 12th, the Marching Percussion Ensemble traveled to Dayton, Ohio to compete in the Winter Guard International, where they took home first place and were named the 2015 World Champions. The Dragons competed against 57 other top scholastic marching ensembles from across the world. With their original piece, The Shield, they beat out their competition by nearly a 2-point spread. Congratulations to all the competitive percussion groups at Lake Orion High School.
One Lake Orion High School swimmer has been soaking up a lot of limelight in the world of competitive swimming. Jonathan Atwater has the story.
Devin Nowicki, a Lake Orion senior, is making a big splash in the world of competitive swimming. On Saturday, March 21st, he set a new state record and took home 2 state titles during the Division I Boys Swimming Championships at Eastern Michigan University. Nowicki broke the record in the 100-meter breaststroke with a time of 53.59 seconds, nearly 2 seconds faster than the old record. His 2 other titles are in the 100-meter butterfly and 50-meter freestyle split. Nowicki was named Co-Swimmer of the Year alongside Detroit Catholic Central's Jack Walsh, and he says he has big plans for the future. He is committed to swimming for Oakland University in the Horizon League. His 100-meter breaststroke time at the Speedo Junior Nationals competition is fast enough to make the A Final Horizon League Championships in 2014. At Oakland, he will continue to compete, train, and improve.
I'm going to be swimming at OU next year under Pete Hovland, and hopefully next year in 2016 go out for the Olympic team. To take the Olympic team, you have to place first or second at Olympic trials, and for my event, the 100-meter breaststroke. So really going up against the best swimmers in America would be just an honor, I guess.
As a high schooler, Nowicki already has 2 swims fast enough to qualify for Olympic trials, and he says he has an interesting relationship with the sport of swimming.
Swimming's more of a love-hate relationship. Some days you love it, like at swim meets, it's really fun meeting your friends from different sides of the state, country, wherever you are. And the hate part of it is going to practice every day, grinding out all those yards. But if you're not really into it, it's not really a sport for you.
With all of his success, it certainly seems to be a sport for him. Reporting for ONTV, I'm John Atwater.
Thanks, Jonathan. A 2009 Lake Orion High School graduate is now serving on one of the world's largest warships, the U.S. Navy aircraft carrier, the USS George H.W. Bush. Seaman Michael Redd is a sailor and mass communication specialist aboard the Norfolk-based ship. Redd's ambition to become a sailor stemmed from his father, who was a merchant marine. Redd's father traveled worldwide, and Redd challenged himself to become a sailor as well in order to travel to more countries than his father. Redd is one of 3,200 men and women that serve on the warship, and Redd considers himself shy, but loves that his job has allowed him to grow socially and travel the world.
Underage drinking and prescription drug abuse are ongoing problems that parents face here in the Orion area. Recently, several agencies came together to battle this threat to teens. On Tuesday, March 31st, the 5th annual Court Night took place at the 52nd 3rd District Court in Rochester Hills. Once again, the North Oakland Community Coalition partnered with Rochester Auburn Hills Community Coalition to sponsor the event. Teens and parents visited the courtrooms of several judges to hear about the consequences of underage drinking and drug abuse. Several representatives of local law enforcement agencies were on hand to help drive the message home.
Any substance can be abused, and prescription drugs, we know that school age, middle school, high school, college, they are raiding the medicine chest and bringing prescription drugs in, and they're combining them with other prescription drugs. They're making cocktails. So we know, that our children from 12 to 20 are abusing prescription drugs. And what we do, we also know that the prescription drugs are actually leading, and what we spoke about tonight was the heroin addiction, and how we see a trend where the prescription drug use leads to heroin use.
There are many tools that we can use, one of which is the take-back programs and collecting the drugs that aren't being used and bringing them to the drop-off locations. Another is talking with our doctors and reducing the amount of medications that they actually prescribe. Those are 2 ways to help get them less opportunity to have the pills available.
And I think it would be helpful if the parents took a responsible role and watch their children closely, ask questions that might be uncomfortable to ask, get involved, know their friends, know where their friends live, introduce themselves to their friends' parents, even monitor who comes into their home, and I'm speaking about their children's own friends. Set rules, set boundaries. The objective is to keep the younger population alive, to keep them away from the courthouse and keep them out of jail.
For more information on the ongoing efforts of the North Oakland Community Coalition, visit northoaklandcoalition.org.
When we return, we will take a look at the Orion Art Center's Student Art Show.
Stay tuned for more ONTV News.
Welcome back to ONTV News. On April 6th, a new faith-based film premiered in Lake Orion at the Oxford 7 and AMC Theater in Great Lakes Crossing. The movie, titled Beyond the Mask, is a historical adventure film that follows a former assassin for the British East India Trading Company, who is now searching for redemption within the American colonies during the 1770s. The film stars actors such as Andrew Cheney from the movie Seasons of Grey, Cara Kilmer from the TV show Chicago Fire, and John Rhys Davies from Lord of the Rings series.
Charles.
You are the man that I need there.
I'm done.
You mean that?
Yes.
Known for its action-packed story, this movie brings history to life with its multiple high-quality special effects, the most ever used within a Christian action film. Furthermore, the movie was written, produced, and directed by the Burns Family Studio, a family company out of Lake Orion, Oxford, and Ortonville, who express faith-based messages within Hollywood films. If you'd like to know more about the movie or the Burns Family Studio, then visit their website at www.beyondthemaskmovie.
On our last newscast, we mentioned that Scripps Middle School art teacher Jerry Brazeau was named 2015's Artist of the Year by the Orion Art Center. He was recently recognized at the Art Center's annual gala, and now his artwork and the work of his students are on display at the Orion Art Center. ONTV's Joe Johnson has the story.
On Wednesday, April 1st, the Orion Art Center hosted an opening reception for a very special exhibit. Longtime Scripps Middle School art teacher Jerry Brazeau had his work on display, as did several of his 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students. There was a total of approximately 50 pieces showcased, representing a wide variety of media.
I'm very proud. I'm happy to see kids showing up and staff members. And there was a guy here just now that didn't even have a piece in the show. He just wanted to come and check it out. So I think that says a lot for what we do at Scripps Middle School in the art department. And yeah, I'm very pleased. A lot of kids coming in now.
You know, it's really exciting because I guess they can't start too early. And it's important to really connect the kids with the arts. It's something that's being lost in the school district now on a lot of different levels. So, you know, it's great to be able to help kind of reconnect kids with that. And then also it's exciting to see really how many great youth artists there are in the community too.
William Letourneau was recently hired into the position of Art and Galleries Manager. He was responsible for organizing the show and is in the process of planning many more like it throughout the year.
Like I said, it's a culmination of his student work and his nephew's work and a few other friends. And like I said, it's nice because it's pretty seamless. You can't necessarily tell, oh, this is Jerry's work, this is the kids' work, because they both really complement each other in this space. But what's always amazing to me is when I come in here, like during the day when we're keeping hours here, is it always seems like such a small space, but we have always lofty ideas about these shows, and there was always these great art pieces. But it's amazing to me when you get a group of people like we have here tonight at an opening, how the place just gets energized. You know, it becomes like bigger than life, bigger than its four walls.
Jerry Brazeau shared the message that he tries to instill in all of his art students at Scripps Middle School.
That all of their ideas are important and that they can do it. I understand that art is a learning experience, that it takes practice and it takes time, and what it really takes is a good idea. Once you get the idea, then we figure out how to make that idea happen. And I've said it before, I'm not a portrait artist, it's not my style. So I think artists need to find their style to make it unique to them and to make it good for them.
From the Art Center in downtown Lake Orion, this is Joe Johnson reporting for ONTV News.
Thanks, Joe. The show will continue to be on display until April 18th. Then the Art Center will begin to prepare for their popular Recreate Recycled art show. An opening reception is planned for Wednesday, April 29th. For more information, visit orionartcenter.org.
On Saturday, April 11th, I visited the Orion Township Public Library in order to take part in a worldwide celebration known as International Tabletop Gaming Day. Throughout the event, children and their families are encouraged to participate in a number of board games with one another for a day filled with fun and enjoyment. Let's take a look. The Orion Township Library is known for hosting many fun and interactive events to the public, and on Saturday, April 11th, they brought a whole new experience to Lake Orion residents known as International Tabletop Game Day.
Here at the library, we participate in an annual event in April. That's today. It's our International Tabletop Day. And we also participate in an annual event in November, which is the American Library Association's Gaming Day. And because of the success of these programs, I'm also doing one in the summer. So I hope to hold 3 to 4 gaming days every year.
As the Outreach Services Coordinator, Gina Crowther is not only in charge of bringing people into the library, but also in getting the name of their events out to the public.
The best thing about Tabletop Day is that we have games for all ages, and it brings in families and individuals. We have games from toddler all the way up, and it's a lot of fun. And there actually have been studies shown that playing strategic games like this helps with critical thinking in children. So not only is it fun, it actually is educational.
Although there were several tabletop games featured at the event, almost everyone there had a favorite game which they loved to play the most.
I think my favorite game was Lemming Mafia. Really fun for me because you get to move the lemmings around, and since they're stupid, they'll follow each other. And it's fun because there's little pieces, and you can just play they have the cement thing that if you land on it, you get to, there's these little cement things that you can put on their feet, and then if you get 3, they're out. And it's really just fun to play.
They were all fun. I mean, I liked Smash Up. It was kind of confusing though because I hadn't really read the directions. I was kind of reading them while I went. But it seemed like a pretty simple game once you got the hang of it.
It's hard to choose my favorite game, but of all the games here today, if I had to pick one, it would be Settlers of Catan. It's a really great game. It's a good family game. And in the game, you're just trying to gather resources and build settlements and build roads. And it's really competitive and a lot of fun.
At the end of the day, both the attendees and staff thought the event was a big success, bringing together the community in more ways than one.
Well, my favorite thing is that even if you don't know each other, everybody could just play a game together and build friendships. You just see somebody who might be alone, you'll be like, hey, you want to play with me? And then even if they don't know how to play the game or you don't, you can kind of just go along together and have fun. And it's just a nice way to make friends.
From Lake Orion, I'm Jonathan Jackson, ONTV News.
The Pink Ribbon Trailblazers is a nonprofit organization right here in Lake Orion that raises money to provide uninsured women in Oakland County with free mammograms and ultrasounds. Founder Patricia Nolf hosts several fundraisers throughout the year to support the organization, including the annual Calendar Girls, where both survivors of breast cancer and women currently battling the disease are photographed. The calendars are sold for $20.
I know this man called Henry Hopkins, and what he does for the Pink Ribbon Trailblazers is he produces a calendar of 12 separate breast cancer women. And we've done that for 4 years, and he absorbs all the cost. And I have this motto now: 5 calendars sold equals 1 free mammogram for 1 uninsured woman. So Henry, in and of himself, and the girls, of course, we sell the calendars, we can provide 250 mammograms by the money that we've received from calendar sales.
On Thursday, April 23rd, the Pink Ribbon Trailblazers are hosting a summer fashion show showcasing many of the women from the 2015 calendar. The fashion show will be held at Boulder Point Golf Course at 5 p.m. and will include a raffle, a silent auction, and dinner. Tickets can be purchased for $30 at pinkribbontrailblazers.com. All proceeds raised will go towards purchasing mammograms and ultrasounds.
With a sit-down dinner and just having fun, dessert, everyone's going to be in a good mood, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be very successful.
Since 2007, the Pink Ribbon Trailblazers have provided over 1,700 mammograms to uninsured women in Oakland County, with help from the St. Joseph's Mercy Oakland Hospital in Pontiac. Each mammogram cost $108 and are funded entirely through NOCC's fundraising efforts. Following the fashion show, the organization's next big event is the annual Stroll, Ride, and Run fundraiser in September at the Pollyant Trail in Oxford.
On Wednesday, April 1st, Orion Township Supervisor Chris Barnett held a fundraiser at the Old Detroit in Lake Orion to announce his plans to run for re-election in 2016.
It's a little bit early because the election's not until next August, but I'm having so much fun, and I've been asked by hundreds of people, what is my plan? Am I going to stick around? Our state representative is term limited. There's been talk that I was going to run for that position, and so I just thought I would dispel the myths and the rumors and just throw it out there that I love what I do. I love our community. I think we're on the right track, and I feel like I have more that I can do here. So I announced that I'm going to be running, seeking my second term, and running for re-election next August.
Many people from the community came to show their support for the first-term supervisor.
I think there were over 300 people came out. It was insane. The people were parked up and down 24. It felt like a wedding. I didn't know I knew this many people, but it was really, it was humbling, and just to see the support that people, and it's not just me, it's about, what we've done as a township board, and what, the good things happen in our community. But it was really, I think humbling is the best way to sum it up, just to see that many people think that, we're on the right track and we're doing a good thing here.
Barnett was elected in 2012 and his term ends in 2016.
That's all the time we have for this edition of ONTV News. For daily content on what's happening right here in Lake Orion, like us on Facebook and follow our YouTube page. On behalf of the hardworking staff here at ONTV, I'm Ciaramitaro.
And I'm Jonathan Jackson. Thanks for watching.